2 servings of real fruit inside.
No sugar do they add.
Because it's Canada's best.
I'm aboard a thrilling airboat.
Aren't old ads the best?
Nothing's added to the natural goodness of real orange juice.
The pitch line, straightforward. Juice is healthy and good to drink many times a day.
Good morning. It's great to stay up late.
That idea squeezed through to policy too. Canada's Food Guide has long recommended juice, saying a half glass is the same as a fruit or a half a cup of veggies. Problem is, people aren't buying that anymore.
What we're seeing is that a significant share of Canadians already disassociate juice as having the same benefits as fruit, if you will.
Others have too. The Heart and Stroke Foundation says listing juice as a fruit serving in the Canada Food Guide is bananas.
It comes down to a few reasons, but number one, I would say, is sugar content and the concerns about sugar content. If you look over time, attitudes towards sugar have hardened.
Joel Gregoire does market research for Mintel. Even when the sugar in juice is natural, not added, he says for many Canadians, it's still a turnoff.
We ask consumers about what they're looking for in juice, what type of innovation they're interested in. Are they moderating their juice consumption? And we see that a significant portion of Canadians also say that they are drinking less juice than they used to.
Juice consumption dropped 15% in Canada between 2011 and 2017, a big shift in a $2 billion a year business. And some see a threat in the new Canada Food Guide expected out in 2019. Already, the feds say the proposed recommendations are for plain water as the beverage of choice to help reduce sugar's intake.
Canadians are slowly moving away from unhealthy choices when it comes to beverages.
If you think the Food Guide doesn't impact consumer habits, think again, says Sylvain Charlebois.
Of course, in schools, teachers use the Food Guide to teach students how to eat every single day.
Some of Canada's biggest juice makers are pushing back, represented by the Canadian Beverage Association and funded by the likes of Coca-Cola, which owns Minute Maid, Simply, and Five Alive, and Pepsi, which makes Tropicana, Dole, and Ocean Spray. According to an investigation by the Globe and Mail, the CBA has made its case with federal ministers and decision makers more than 50 times in person since October of 2017. And Lassonde, behind Allen's, Oasis, and Del Monte, warns that juice in Canada is under threat and that removing it from the Food Guide would create unintended consequences. The Canadian Juice Council told CBC News that Canadians are already not meeting minimum recommended intakes for fruits and vegetables. 100% juice, it says, can play a key role in helping to meet daily nutrient requirements.
It's hard to say whether it's a threat, but if I was in the juice industry, what I'd really be looking at is what do consumers really want and where are they at?
And that is a driving force at the Greenhouse Juice Company, and they're growing after finding a way to overcome the high sugar content of fruits like oranges and apples.
So this one is all fruit. It's orange, grapefruit, lemon, and some cayenne. But instead of having all orange, which would make it a very, very sweet juice, we've cut the sweetness of the orange with lemon and grapefruit. So you're getting less than a third of the sugar that you get in your standard glass of orange juice.
That's their citrusy option, but most of Greenhouse's juices actually go light on the fruit.
Our most popular juices, vegetables really form the core of the juice.
While others in the juice business worry about losing their status on the Food Guide, Greenhouse embraces the change.
We are so in favor of this update to the Food Guide, and we think that there is room for a more nuanced definition of juice.
And where small players like Greenhouse are trending is also where the bigger companies may soon follow, where some consumers are turning against sugar, natural or not, and looking for a way to stay relevant and wanted. David Coleman, CBC News, Toronto.